we might do this one of Ginger next. Now, as I said, I've already desaturated that. I might desaturate just a little bit more. I kind of like that just subtle earthy tone that's coming through in that image. Now, there's a few little things I want to fix up first. One is this skin fold that's here on Ginger's side. I'm actually going to try the patch tool and see if that works. So I'm going to do a selection around that fold. Alright, so now that's gotten rid of that really dark line. So now we just need to tidy that up a little bit. Grab my healing brush. So if we zoom out, I can still kind of see that. I might do another run with the patch tool over that section there. There we go, that's pretty good. Remember, we are going to be adding some texture over the top of this, so it doesn't have to be perfect. There's just one little bit there. It's still a little bit obvious. So there we go. That's a little bit better. So normally, if this was just a straight image, I'd go in and I'd tidy up these marks in the background. But because again, we're adding texture over the top, kind of adds to it, so I'm going to leave those. And so I just want to quickly fix up some of these highlights on Ginger's skin. So grab my clone tool. I'm just going to pull this hardness right back again. Quickly just go over the top of that, just to knock it down a little bit. Cheek there. I often see these little dark shadows on the nose, so I like to lighten them up a little bit, and the little specular highlight on the end of the nose. And chin is also the other spot where it always gets a bit bright. And might just knock down a little bit on her, below her eyebrow there. There we go, that'll do that. Pretty happy with that after. Alright, so now let's go back into Lightroom and find a texture that we can use. Go back up to my textures. Where are they? There we go. So let's look for another edge frame that's going to work. I think let's try this one. This one looks pretty good. So let's edit that in Photoshop. Original again. So now I'm going to rotate this, and I think I want this sort of darker area on the right hand side to be on the bottom. So I'm going to image, rotate clockwise. So this lighter area is kind of naturally where Ginger's head's going to be. So I think that should work pretty well. So let's drag that across. And that pretty well fits perfectly. There we go, we'll leave that again. Let's have a look at it as a soft light. Not too bad as a soft light, but again, I want that the edges of that texture frame to come up really strong. So I'll leave it as normal, pull the opacity back down so I can see where I need to erase back around so Ginger shows through. So add my layer mask again, get my paintbrush, make sure I've got black selected, and I'm just going to slowly start pulling back, being pretty rough about it. So I don't want to get rid of all that texture that's coming through beautifully on the background. I do want to make sure that it's not very heavy over Ginger. Spend a little bit more time just erasing back on her skin. Pull back a little bit on some of the fabric. Alright, let's pull our opacity back up again. And see at 100% it's still a lot of texture shining through. So I think this will work pretty well at around 70%. So I still need to pull back some of this texture on Ginger. A little bit on the umbrella, the parasol, and on the tub. That's looking pretty cool. Might just pull back a little bit in this top corner because it is quite dark up there. And let's get rid of a bit more of this not very flattering texture that's coming through on Ginger's skin. Doesn't look too good on her arm here, so I'm going to spend a bit of time erasing that section back. On her legs and backside. You could always use a much stronger opacity and flow to do this a little bit quicker. Saves a bit of time. And I guess the beauty of working with a mask is that if you make a mistake, you can always just switch over to a white paintbrush and then pull back the area that you accidentally erased. There we go, that's looking pretty cool indeed. But as what's happened before, we've erased back any of the color that was in that original image. So I'm just going to pull back the saturation in that texture layer. And then again, I'm going to add a photo filter to add some nice warm tone to it. Pick sepia again. So probably be a little bit more subtle than before. Let's see. Maybe about 30%. You can always change your color. So let's pick something that's a little bit more chocolatey brown now. Increasing the tone. So it's subtle, but it adds a little bit more authenticity to the image. Could potentially go a little bit stronger. So just double click on that. Let's go up to 55. There we go. I think that works pretty well. Just save that one now. Let's have a look at our before and after in Lightroom. Yeah, big difference. So there you go, there's a quick look at how I do my vintage processing in Photoshop and Lightroom, predominantly in Photoshop. Now these textures that I've been using, I've collected over the years. You can find them from other photographers that sell them. You can find them on places like Etsy, but you can also go out and shoot them yourselves. Just go and look at concrete with cracks, things like that, photograph those. Bark on trees, anything like that that's got some nice texture to it. Just photograph and start building a collection of your own. So of course you can apply these techniques to any style of portraits. If you've got a fairly plain background and you want to add some texture to it, you can use that same sort of technique. So here's an image that I processed the other day. I just grabbed that shot at the end of a tuition session in the studio with Valerie, and I added some texture and some warmth to that background via a texture layer. So thanks again for watching, and until I see you in the next video, ciao for now.